Hey guys. All right. We are looking today at our new unit that's on tax, tip, and discount, and I'll go over some quick examples on how to solve them. First of all, let's review the definitions. I know that you guys have heard all these words, but let's make sure we understand the contexts so we can use it correctly. So tax, it's a percentage that's added to your total when you buy something. So whenever you go to the store and buy talkies or pencils, this is an amount of money that's added to the total. Next is tip. This is a percentage of your bill that you give to your server at a restaurant, a DoorDash driver, etc. So when you go out and somebody performs a service, you'll pay them a tip. This is some extra money on top of the bill. Lastly, we have discounts. This is a percentage of a cost that you don't have to pay. So the other two, will sometimes see them added to the total. A discount, some problems will ask us, what do you pay after the discount, and we'll be subtracting. These will be cases of maybe sales or with coupons. All right, so now that we know what we're looking at, let's take a look at some examples. I'm going into the Desmos. This is slide number 10. If you want to follow along, you guys can find this on Desmos. So our problem says, Abdul found a hat at Lids for $30. The store also charges 5% tax. How much will Abdul pay in tax? So our first step, our first question is, what is the question asking? Is this tax, tip, or discount? We've got it right here in nice bold letters. We're looking for the tax. So I can go ahead and set this up using a bar graph. So I'm going to draw a vertical bar, and I'm going to put my percentage on the left. So on the left, it tells me we're looking for 5%. And another way that I can write 5% is 5 out of 100. Remember that word, percent, means out of 100, cent meaning 100. So I can write this in its fraction form as 5 out of 100. 5 being the tax, 100 being the cost of the whole item, the hat. Now on the right side, we're looking for how much will Abdul pay in tax. That's going to be equivalent, that's going to be equivalent to the 5%. So we don't know what this is. I'm going to put a question mark right here. That's what we're trying to figure out. And we know that 100%, the total cost, is equal to $30. So I'm going to put 30 on the bottom of this bar graph to show us that $30 is equal to 100%. So you'll notice that the numbers that are equivalent are opposite each other. 5 is equal to our questionable question mark. And on the bottom, 100%, 100 is equal to $30. So now I've got my chart set up. I can now use these numbers to solve. So you'll notice that we've got 5 over here on top and 100 on the bottom. So I'm going to use those exact same placements to set up my proportion. So I'm going to write 5 over 100. Next, on the right-hand side, I've got my question mark and a 30. So again, I'm going to use those exact same placements. A question mark, I'm going to use math language and make that a variable, an x. And on the bottom, I have my 30. And now I set those equal, so it's a proportion. And I can go ahead and solve. All right, so now I can use the butterfly method. Whenever I have a proportion, I can always solve it using the butterfly. I'm going to circle these two opposite numbers, and each side I'm going to be multiplying. So this left side becomes 100 times x. All I'm doing is I'm cross multiplying. These numbers that are across, I'm going to multiply them together. On the right, I'm going to do exactly the same with this these other two numbers. So I have my 5 and my 30. and they're being multiplied as well. Now, this should start to look familiar. We have an equation. 100 times x equals 5 times 30. That's an equation. We know how to solve these. I want to get the x by itself. I want to solve for x to get the x alone. That means I have to get rid of this 100. So if we're ever confused, we can always write out SADMEG. That's GEMDOS backwards. And I'm going to circle what's happening. On the left-hand side, 100 is being multiplied by x. So I'm going to use division, the opposite, to get rid of it. And I have to make sure I do that on both sides. So I've divided by 100. I'm going to get x equals 5 times 30 is 150 divided by 100. I still haven't done that out yet. So let's simplify again. X equals, I know when I'm dividing by 100, I can move that decimal place 2 to the left, or I can just use Desmos. So in Desmos, I type in 150 divided by 100, and that should be 1.50. That's going to be my answer. So Abdul will pay $1, $1.50. That's my answer right there. All right, let's take a look at another example. I'd like you guys to try this now. Again, this is on Desmos. This is just slide number 14. So I'd like you guys to give this a try now. All right, I've given you guys some time to try. Let's take a look at how we would set this up and if we got the right answer. So Mr. Schneider spent $15 at his local craft store. The sales tax was 7%. How much will he pay in tax? So again, we're looking, is this a tax, tip, or discount? This is a tax. And I can set it up with a bar graph. So now I have my percentage on the left. I'm going to put 7 out of 100. That's my percent. On the right, I'm going to put a question mark right here. I don't know what 7% is yet. That's what I'll find out. And $15 is the total. 15 is equivalent to 100%. That's how much he spent. Now I can go ahead and set these up. I've got my 7 over 100, and that equals my question mark, my x, over 15. All right, if you weren't sure about the setup, go ahead and give this a try, see if you can beat me to the cross multiplication. So now we have our butterfly method, our cross multiplication, and I'm going to take these two numbers and multiply. 100 times x equals, I'm going to take my other two numbers and multiply, 7 times 15. Now I need to make sure to get x by itself. If I'm confused, I can always use SADMEG. I look at what's happening on the left side, that's being multiplied. So I circle my m for multiplication, and I'm going to use the opposite, division, to get rid of that 100. I divide by 100. 7 times 15 should be 75. 75 divided by 100, I haven't done that one yet, equals 0.75. So he should pay 75 cents. Right, if you got that, nice job, congratulations. Let's give this next one a try. So now we're going to look at some examples of tip. This is slide number 11, if you want to try it out. Rosa and her friends are eating out for dinner. The bill was $45.80. They want to leave a 22% tip. how much should they leave for a tip? So my first step, I'm looking for I'm looking for if this is tax, tip, or discount. We know that this is a tip. Also, it's saying we're going to have to round for this question, so I'll keep that in mind, but I will only round at the end. I'm not going to round beforehand because that will change my answer. So I'm going to make sure to do this at the end. All right, so we can set this up the exact same way that we did for tax. On the left-hand side, I'm going to use my percent. They want to leave 22%, so I'm going to break that into a fraction again, 22 out of 100. And on the right, we have a question mark. I don't know what 22% is. That's what we're trying to find. But I do know that 100%, the total bill, is $45.80. So again, I have my equivalents. 22% is equivalent to some number, we don't know. 100%, the total amount that they spent, is equal to $45.80. And I can set this up just the same way. So again, I have my 22 and 100. I have a question mark and my $45.80. So I'm going to use that. 22 over 100 equals, again, instead of a question mark, I'm going to use math language for a variable, an x, over $45.80. So again, just like with tax, you'll notice if you set up that bar chart, you set this picture up correctly, it really helps with how to set up our proportion. You can just copy those numbers over. So now I'm going to solve for x. I'm going to cross multiply. This is the butterfly method. And I can go ahead and I'm going to multiply out my opposite numbers. So 100 times x equals 22 times 45.80. I'm going to need a calculator for this one. All right, so I have, if I'm not sure what's happening, I can always write out my SADMEG. On the left-hand side, I have 100 times x. I want to get rid of that 100. It's being multiplied, so I'm going to divide by 100 on both sides. And I'm going to get x equals, this is where I need my calculator, 22 times 45.80. 22 times 45.8 is 1007.6. And that's divided by 100. So let's divide that out. 1007.6 divided by 100. I can either use a calculator or I can do some mental math. When I divide by 100, I'm moving that decimal point 2 places to the left, 1 for each 0. If I do that out, I should get 10.076. Oh, this is where I'm going to need to round though, because this is not what money looks like. When you have money, you only have 2 digits after that decimal. So we need to get rid of one of these digits. So to round, I'm going to look at the last digit that I want. This is the second digit, so I want to keep that, but I want to get rid of the 6. So with the 6, I'm going to look if this is 5 or above. It will make the previous number go up. If it is 4 or below, then the previous number will stay the same and the 6 will disappear. So let's see. The 6 happens to be above 5. This is more than 5. So that means it's going to add 1 to the 7. So the 7 becomes an 8. The 6 disappears, and I have my new number. So my new number is going to be $10.08. So you can go ahead. Down below, you guys will be able to click one of the multiple choice answers, but my answer is going to be $10.08. All right, so now you guys can give this a try. On slide number 18, we'll find a similar problem. I'm going to give you guys a minute, see if you can solve it first. All right, so let's take a look at this problem. The Andersons went to dinner at Bob Evans. Their dinner cost $37.50. They decided to leave an 18% tip. How much did they leave as a tip? So our first step, we're deciding if this is tax, tip, or discount. It tells us right here, this is a tip problem. So we're going to go ahead and we can start to calculate. Let's take a look. So their dinner costs $37.50. Oh, actually, I'm going to start with the percent. So 18%, let's set this up, 18 out of 100. How much did they leave? So what is 18%? I don't know. So I'm going to put that question mark, and on the right I have $37.50. That's the total amount. That's 100% of their bill. All right, I've got this set up, and I can go ahead and write this out. So 18 over 100 equals my question mark, my x, over 37.50. Now I can, as always, cross multiply. And this will give me 100 times x. I'm multiplying those opposite numbers, equals 18 times 37.50. Now I can use SADMEG. Some of you guys might have noticed a pattern. I'm always going to be dividing by 100. So that might be helpful for you guys to remember as a shortcut. All right, so I'm dividing by 100, and I get x equals, I need a calculator again, 18 times 37.5. That's going to be 675. And I haven't divided by 100 yet, so I'm going to keep that. Divided by 100, I can either use a calculator, or I know that dividing by 100 will move that decimal point 2 places to the left, and my answer will be $6.75. So I can go ahead, type that in, and that should be my answer. All right, let's try one more. So we've tried tax, we've tried tip. Now it's time to try discount. This is on slide number 12. Soraya went to Kohl's and found a pair of sneakers that cost $65. She plans to use a coupon for 25% off any purchase. How much will she save by using the coupon? So sometimes discount can be tricky because it's not going to always say that it's a discount. Sometimes we'll see that it's a sale. Sometimes we'll see that it says some percent or some amount off. Or sometimes it will say that she saves a certain amount. So we can look for any of those words to help us know that this means discount, because it won't always say it for us. So this one is going to be a discount. We want to know, how much will she save? How big is that discount? Let's go ahead and we can start to set this up. So I'm going to draw it out exactly like before. She's going to use a coupon for 25% off. So I'm going to use that percentage, 25 over 100. I don't know what number that is. So that's what I'm looking for, but I do know that total is going to be $65. And I can go ahead and set this up. 25 over 100 equals some number, x, over $65. And now I can go ahead and cross multiply, my butterfly method. And this will give me 100 times x, I'm multiplying those opposite numbers, equals 25 times 65. So now, again, if I need to, I can set up my SADMEG. I want to get x by itself, So I'm going to divide by 100 on both sides. I'm going to get x equals, I'll need a calculator again for this, 25 times 65, that is 1,625 divided by 100. I haven't done that out yet. And when I divide by 100, I can either use a calculator or I know that that's moving it 2 decimal places, 16.25, $16.25. All right, so now, just like before, it is your turn to give this a try. I'll give you a minute to try this one out. All right, let's check if we got the right answer. So Macy's is having a 1-day 35% off special. If Sarah bought $124.80 worth of items, how much money will she save? So again, this doesn't tell us that it's a discount. We're looking first if this is tax, tip, or discount. It doesn't say discount, but it says save, and it says 35% off. So those are our keywords that tell us that this is a discount problem. So we can set up our proportion. 35 out of 100. And I don't know what 35% off is. I'm looking for that. But I do know that 100%, her total bill, was $124.80. Now I can go ahead and set that up. 35 over 100 equals some number, x over 124.80. And I can use my cross products, the butterfly method. 100 times x, I'm multiplying those opposites, equals 35 times 124.80. Now I have my equation. I want to get x alone, so I can use my SADMEG. I'm going to use the opposite of multiplication, which is division, to get rid of that 100. And I get x equals 35 times 124.8. Let me get my calculator up. 35 times 124.8 should be 4,368 divided by 100. I haven't done that out yet. And I can do that in my calculator, and that will give me 43.68. That's $43.68 she saves. All right, so there we have it. My challenge for you, if you are feeling confident with this, if you thought that this is getting easier and easier the more you practice, try out some of these bonus problems. There are a couple of bonus problems. These are at the end of the Desmos. They have this blue bonus sign. This is slides 21, 22, and 23. These problems will be asking you to do an extra step at the end. So in addition to doing these steps with our proportions, they're going to be asking for some of the totals. How much did you how much did you spend in total with a tax or a tip? And what was the end price that you paid with the discount? So give those a try, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.